You usually think paternity tests come after doubt. But what if the one secretly investigating you isn't who you suspect at all? This story spirals quickly, starting with a single lapse in judgment, a hidden lie, and a secret that seemed impossible. The moment I walked out of his apartment, I knew I had crossed a line I could never uncross. My hands trembled, my lipstick smeared, and my heart wouldn't stop racing. It was supposed to be nothing more than a silly, drunken distraction, a one-time mistake. But that night would haunt me for years. Marcus, my boyfriend, had left town for his company's retreat. 3 days, that was all. I promised myself I'd relax, finish some freelance projects, and catch up on chores. Instead, I met Evan, a friend of a friend, someone I had always found charming but never acted on. That night, we all went out for drinks. The energy was fun, casual, nothing suggestive. But when everyone else left, Evan and I stayed behind. One drink turned into several. I should have gone home. I didn't. I convinced myself it didn't count, it was just one night. A mistake I'd bury and never repeat. Life went on. Marcus had no idea. We were happy. But a month later, everything changed. I discovered I was pregnant. Initially, I was thrilled. Marcus had always dreamed of having children. I imagined us together with a baby, decorating the nursery, enjoying weekends at the park. But then reality hit. That night with Evan wasn't far enough in the past to ignore. The timing was too close to call. I counted days obsessively, checked online conception timelines, and felt my stomach twist with panic. There was no way to know for certain. Marcus and I had been together that week, but so had Evan once. I thought about confessing, but I couldn't. Marcus loved me, trusted me. We had built a life together, and this baby, our baby as far as I knew, was the heart of it. So I stayed silent. And when Marcus dropped to his knees with tears of joy at the news, I let the lie settle into my chest like concrete. 9 months passed in a blur of baby showers, cravings, and whispered promises. Marcus was everything a partner could be, patient, loving, devoted. When our son Leo arrived, I allowed myself to believe. He resembled Marcus perfectly. The same brown eyes, the same bright smile, the familiar dimple. For a while, everything seemed normal. But around Leo's first birthday, subtle changes began. Marcus started acting strangely. He'd watch Leo with an intensity that made me uneasy, sometimes comparing photos of himself, me, and our baby. When I asked, he smiled and said he was just marveling at genetics. But the unease lingered. Soon he grew distant, longer hours at work, quieter evenings. One night I confronted him. "Is something wrong?" I asked. His gaze pierced me. "Do you think Leo looks like me?" he said. I lied, of course. "Of course he does," I murmured. He nodded but said nothing more. Sleep eluded me that night. 2 weeks later, the truth hit like a freight train. I came home early from errands. Marcus' office door was slightly ajar. I wasn't snooping, yet I froze at the words I heard. "Leo. Evan." My heart stopped. He had done it. Marcus had secretly collected a sample, Leo's toothbrush, and mailed a paternity test himself. The results were clear. Not his. I felt like the air had been ripped from my lungs. My body went numb and I fell back into the couch, clutching Leo. Marcus didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just asked calmly, "How long were you planning to lie to me?" I confessed everything. Evan, the night, my desperate hope that the baby was Marcus. I begged for forgiveness, but his expression remained unchanged. Then he asked the question that terrified me most. "Do you know who the father is?" I didn't. I had never told Evan. I had erased that night from memory. But now the consequences were undeniable. Marcus left the house without packing a bag, only sending a message the next day. "You have 24 hours to tell Evan the truth or I will." I reached out to Evan. Shock, anger, confusion, he expressed all of it. He agreed to take a test, and I endured one of the longest weeks of my life waiting for the results. When they arrived, the truth was devastating. Leo was Evan's son. Evan wasn't ready to be a father, though he promised financial support. Marcus, despite loving Leo and being a devoted father, could no longer stay with me. He filed for separation the next day. I begged him to reconsider, to remember that he had raised and loved Leo, that he was the father in every way that mattered. But he was done. It has been 8 months since Marcus moved out. We share custody, and he remains an incredible father. Yet every time I see him, he feels like a stranger where my soulmate once was. I don't even blame him. One mistake destroyed everything. The truth didn't set me free. It only revealed how fragile trust can be. Sometimes the real damage isn't the betrayal itself, but the silence that follows.